Welcome, everyone, to the SCSRA Xfinity Series here on Intensity Broadcasting. Tonight, these Xfinity cars will be taking on New Hampshire Motor Speedway for 150 laps of racing action. I'm going to be your announcer for tonight, Atlee Atman-Leeson, and I'm excited to call all the racing action here tonight. Right now in practice, we see Devin Bucciano is on the top of the board with a 30.84 as his best lap time. 1/10 behind him. And second, it's Isaiah Gill. Third is Brian Nudie. Fourth is Will Witt. And then rounding at your top five, we have Cameron Austin. See Devin Bucciano on Facebook says, "Atman, the GOAT." Thank you for the kind words, Devin. Good luck tonight. And I do want to quickly look here at the current point standings for the chase. This is the chase to the championship. And right now, we see Cody Moore is your chase leader. He has 1,108 points, and he is 20 points ahead of second place Brian Nudie. Third in the chase is Cameron Austin. Fourth is Colin Willems. Fifth is Logan Hagerman. Sixth is Isaiah Gill. Seventh is Devin Bucciano. Eighth is Michael Provel. Ninth is Bobby Mays. 10th is Kyle Mays. 11th is Dylan Redding. And 12th is Nick Mather. So right now, the two drivers definitely that are fighting for this championship right now that have the biggest chance are definitely Cody Moore and Brian Nudie, and we'll see how well both of them do to here tonight at New Hampshire. And I know I was just reading it out, but here is a look at actually what the point standings looks like from first all the way to 12th. And then after that, there's the rest of the drivers who aren't in the chase. So, like you see at the top between Cody Moore and Brian Nudie, a very, very tight race for that top spot in the chase standings. So we take a look back onto the track, and we're watching some drivers get some practice time in. Oh, Dylan Redding hard into the outside wall. We saw him get some air time. Dylan Redding looking to try to have a string of good finishes here in the waning parts of the chase to try to get a good final chase finish. There we're watching a driver who is in the top three in the chase, Cameron Austin. Austin is second on the board with a 30.90 as his best lap time. He was able to get by Isaiah Gill. And Austin, he is only 600ths behind at first place Devin Bucciano. There's Sylvain Seguin. Sylvain got his first top three in the SCSRA Truck Series last night. So that was awesome. Looking to try to carry that momentum on to tonight with New Hampshire. And there we go. Practice is wrapping up. Devin Bucciano on the top of the board as practice wraps up. All right, we are now getting ready for our 10-minute qualifying. Drivers will get 2 laps to try to set their best possible lap time. We got some cars heading out on track. There's Dylan Redding in that 11 machine. Dylan looking to try to have a good finish here tonight as he is currently sitting in the bottom 2 out of all of our chase drivers. So he's looking to try to improve. Dylan only has 2 top 10s this season. Dylan hoping that he can add a third to that list. Here goes Dylan into turns 1 and 2. There's Devin Buccino, your leader in practice, exiting the pits and getting ready to head out on track. We'll see what this 68 can do. There's Joe Wright in the 82 machine. There's Cody Moore in the 52. Cody trying to hold on to his chase lead right now. We're going to get a good finish here tonight. And there we go. We see Dylan Redding to the top of the board with a 31.35. Dylan, however, did start his lap times a little bit earlier than some of our other drivers. We see Dave Wright. He is able to get to second with a 31.52. Cameron Austin to the top of the board with a 30.84. So Cameron, he blows all of those other times out of the water. Buccino to second with a 31.02. Still about 0.2 off of first place, Cameron Austin. And looks like Buccino has a little bit of trouble on his second lap. We see he flies all the way down to the bottom of the track. Yeah, that's going to kill his lap time. Here we see Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence getting ready to complete his second lap. He does improve, but he stays where he's at in that 9th place spot. See Brian Nudie able to get to third with a 31.09. Still Nudie about 0.2 off of first place, Cameron Austin. Cameron Austin looking very, very fast right now here in practice. A lot of driver. Oh, we see Dave Wright. He tags the outside wall on his second qualifying lap, so that is going to kill his lap time. So far, we're seeing a lot of drivers struggle here in qualifying. Could this kind of be a sign for what's to come in tonight's event? That is the question. We got Will Witt on track right now. He just started his first lap. I believe Dave Wright has completed both of his lap times. He's just staying out, getting a little bit of extra practice time. There we see Eddie Morris on track right now. He is either starting his first lap or completing his first lap. Morris completed his first lap. He gets to 6th with a 31.30. So far, nobody has been able to get anywhere near Cameron Austin's 30.84. See Will Witt able to get to 3rd with a 31.04. That's going to put Will about 0.2 off of Cameron Austin. Gosh, what a lap time for that 77 machine of Cameron Austin. Nobody has been able to get anywhere near that 30.84. Here we have Isaiah Gill on track right now. Gill he looked very good in practice, looked very fast. We'll see if he can carry that momentum on to qualifying. There we see Brian Merrell Jr. crossing the line to complete his first lap. That's going to put him in 9th with a 31.31. So let's see if Merrell can improve on his second lap time. There we see Daniel Michelle on track. His best lap time is a 31.16. See Isaiah Gill able to get to 5th with a 31.11. It's looking like we do have 21 cars in the field tonight. So as we watch this battle for the chase lead, if Cody Moore finishes last and Brian Nudie finishes first, that will give Brian Nudie the chase lead, but that is very, very unlikely as both drivers are very good drivers. There we see Daniel Michelle slowing down after completing his lap times. Here we see Logan Hagerman in the 7 machine. There's Sylvan Seguin getting ready to exit the pits and start his lap times. Sylvan got his first top 3 of the SCSRA Truck Series season last night. And when I was definitely happy for Sylvan to finally get up there in the top 3, so he's looking to try to carry that momentum into tonight's event at New Hampshire. Looks like on lap 1, Sylvan washed up a little bit, tagged the outside wall. It looks very, very tight. Having to get slowed down just to avoid hitting that outside wall. Because Sylvan hit the wall and qualifying scrutiny is up to high, it will not count his first lap time. There we see Todd Mays. He is able to get to 9th with a 31.22. Still, though, about 5/10 off of Cameron Austin. Once again, Cameron Austin has just blown. Oh, we did see Isaac Gill. He was able to get to 2nd, and he ran a 30.96, so that's only a 10th off of Austin, but still, Cameron Austin just with his 30.84, that just blew all the other times out of the water. Cameron Austin, definitely one of the drivers to watch out for here tonight. There's Logan Hagerman. He has completed both of his lap times, but it seems like he is staying out just to get a little bit of extra practice time. Definitely respect Hagerman for doing that, as it takes a lot of practice to get good here at New Hampshire. I did a Class B open race here in the Xfinity cars at New Hampshire, and I ended up wrecking because it's hard. It's very, very hard. These drivers are going to need to be very, very careful with their tires, as this track will put some wear and tear on those good years. You see Michael White is on track. He is the last driver that needs to complete a lap time. There's White crossing the line. Looks like he's actually starting his first lap. So we'll see what White tries to do here. Ooh, barely misses hitting the wall there. Has to turn down to avoid hitting it. That might add some time to his lap time. See Michael White able to get to 20th with a 31.80. He's about 1 second off of Cameron Austin. And once again, Michael White barely misses hitting the wall. White struggling here in qualifying. And there we go. We see Michael White coming to a stop right as qualifying is about to end. So everybody has completed their qualifying laps, and we are now getting set for your feature event. All right, here we go. We are now gridding for tonight's event. Let's take a look at your starting lineup, starting on the pole with a 30.844. It's the 77 of Cameron Austin. Outside of him, it's the 2 of Isaiah Gill. In third with Neon Racing, it's the 68 of Devin Buccino. Fourth is Waxy Racing's number 35, Will Witt. And then rounding out your top 5, we have league owner Brian Nudie in the 40 machine. Sixth is Cody Moore in the 52. Seventh is Cyclone Racing's Daniel Michel in that 26 machine. Eighth is Nick Mather. Ninth and 10th is the Mays Mafia's Todd Mays and Kyle Mays. In 11th is Neon Racing's Brian Merrell Jr. 12th is Eddie Morris. 13th is Intensity Broadcasting Zone Joe Wright in that 82. 14th is Neon Racing's Dylan Redding. And then rounding at your top 5, we have Intensity Broadcasting Zone Logan Hagerman. Then outside of him, it's the 84 of Dave Wright. 17th is Bobby Mays in the 5. 18th is Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence in the 47. 19th is Two Pedals, One Clutches Michael Provolt. And then rounding out your top 20, it's Operators Racing's number 09, Michael White. And then last but not least, it's Cyclone Racing's Sylvan Seguin. So there we go. The field is set. There is the lap counter. We're getting ready for 150 laps of racing action here at New Hampshire. So go to the bathroom, grab a snack, because this is about to get wild. So we are now in our formation lap. Drivers getting those tires warmed up. Trying to get as much heat in them as possible before the start. Quickly look here at the race info. There we go. 79 degrees Fahrenheit, 30% humidity, partly cloudy skies, 4 miles per hour wind speed. Track temperature is very, very hot, so you don't really need to warm up those tires too much. Track temperature is 112 degrees Fahrenheit, and we are in Loudon, New Hampshire at the 1 mile New Hampshire Motor Speedway. New Hampshire definitely a favorite on the NASCAR schedule by NASCAR fans and a favorite by iRacing fans. This track makes for some awesome racing and also some, if we have a good green flag run, we'll see some pit strategy come into play as well. This should be fun. Here we go. Pace car is in. Green flag is out here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. There we see Cameron Austin taking off. He has the nose over Isaiah Gill as we head into turns 1 and 2. And he is able to get clear. We see Isaiah Gill keeping it on that high side. Was able to get to the rear quarter panel of that 77. But once again, he falls in line behind Cameron Austin. So now Isaiah Gill trying to set up a pass here for turns 3 and 4. Looks like he's going to stick behind the 77. Just trying to watch to see where he's braking, where he's lifting. Trying to find any way possible to maneuver around that 77 machine. And early on, you also want to try saving tires the best that you can, so Isaiah Gill doesn't want to battle with Austin too much to the point where it burns up his tires. Will Witt trying to reel in Isaiah Gill for that second place spot. Will Witt has already gained 1 position since the green flag drop. He was able to get by Devin Buchno for that third place spot. Now he's trying to get by Isaiah Gill. We see Cameron Austin has just ran the fastest lap time of tonight's event with a 31.02. Cameron Austin ran a 30.84 in qualifying, so Austin still has a little bit ways to go before he can get up there to what he was running in qualifying. Will Witt still trying to set up a pass on your second place driver, Isaiah Gill. Will continue to watch out that battle. And Devin Buchno trying to reel in Will Witt for that third place spot and get that position back to where he was running before Will got by him. Field already starting to get spread out. Drivers in tire saving mode, just trying to keep it clean, not trying to get any battles, because when you're battling with another driver, that's what burns up those tires. We do see Isaiah Gill starting to reel in Cameron Austin a little bit for that lead. See Gill getting a good run as we head into turns 1 and 2. Starting to reel him in fast. Oh, and looks like we have another driver has just entered the race. That's Brett Merrell. And this is the first time we've seen Brett in an SCSRA race in quite some time. So There we go. Brett Merrell now on track. He is 6 laps down, but we'll see if he can make some of them back up. And we do see Brett Merrell is running that Circle B diecast car that was just unveiled today. Ryan Truex will be driving this car for... Actually, no, this is last year's car, Circle B diecast car. That's, Noah Gragson. Excuse me. See, Isaac Gill still trying to set up a pass on first place driver Cameron Austin. Like I mentioned before, Gill needs to be careful. Don't want to burn up those tires. Because when you're battling someone, that's when it burns up those tires the most. Cameron, right now we see Austin running about 100th faster than Isaac Gill. If that's the case, it's going to be very, very hard for Gill to make a pass. We see Will Witt now reeling in Isaac Gill for that second place spot. Field getting kind of spread out. As like I mentioned before, drivers are just kind of in tire saving right now, not really wanting to battle with anybody. So far, our biggest mover of tonight's race is Michael White, who is up to 17th, but looks like he didn't get up here to 17th without a fight. As I say that, he almost runs into the back of Michael Lawrence. But Michael White, he started in that 20th place spot, and he had to work his way up to the field. Looks like he got some damage in the process as that rear end is bent in. Michael White trying to continue to work his way up to the field. He is so far biggest mover of tonight's event. We did see Dave Wright. He has fallen 3 spots since the green flag drop. He has fallen to that 19th spot. Dave currently, he started in 16th, and he has since fallen to 19th, so that's definitely unfortunate for that 84. See Will Witt trying to reel in Isaac Gill for that second place spot still. And then right behind Witt is Devin Bucciano. Bucciano actually started in that third place spot, but Witt was able to get by him early on, so now Bucciano trying to take that position back. And here's a look at, this is exactly what it looks like right now to be in one of these cars. And this track is crazy because, looks like we actually, as I was saying that, we did see a car wreck. That's Nick Mather. He has crashed, but I am not sure if that will bring out a caution. Let's take a look at what happened to him. Oh, just gets loose off of turn number 2. Luckily, he did not hit anybody as he spun right in front of Cody Moore and Brian Nudie. That is definitely going to hurt him. Nick Mather's fallen all the way down to 21st. So this track is crazy because these drivers, they're getting all the way up to as fast as 150, 151 miles per hour, but they're having to get woed down all the way to 86 miles per hour. And as I'm saying this, we are side by side for second between Will Witt and Isaiah Gill. They're pretty much equal as we come off of turn number 2. Gill getting a little bit loose. I was worried that was going to become a big problem, but looks like he was able to save it. Gill with the nose as we head into turns 3 and 4. We see Witt getting all the way down on that apron. They're side by side as we come off of turn number 4. We see Gill with the nose at least clear as we cross the line, but I don't think we've seen the end of that 35 machine of Will Witt. He drives it in deep here in turns 1 and 2, and once again is side by side with Gill. They're still side by side here on the backstretch. Witt and Gill, they're not giving one another an inch here. This is some tight racing. And then right behind them, it is Devin Buccino. He's looking his chops, hoping that either of them make a mistake. We'll see what happens here. Looks like Gill, once again, able to get back clear of Will Witt. And then we see Devin Buccino. He gets to that third place spot. And so now Will Witt, he has fallen to fourth. And now I think we might see Devin Buccino try to make a pass on second place, Isaiah Gill. And there we go. We see Buccino driving it in deep here in turns 1 and 2. He's able to get to the rear quarter panel to the door. See Gill with the nose as we come off of... Oh, we see both drivers getting very, very loose. Looks like everybody on track right now seems to be a little bit loose. We'll see how these drivers handle it. We are back single file. Looks like Will Witt was able to get by Devin Buccino for that third place spot. We see Will Witt getting all the way up to that back bumper of Isaiah Gill. Oh, we see Devin Buccino getting into the outside wall a little bit there. We see Witt taking a look down low under Isaiah Gill as we head into turns 3 and 4. Witt has the nose, and he gets clear now, Will Witt, to that second place spot. Isaiah Gill trying to look down low under that 35 machine. Getting all the way down on the apron. Gill trying to get that position back. It looks like Witt is able to get clear. See Devin Buccino able to get by Isaiah Gill for that third place spot. These three have just been back and forth trading positions for quite some time now. We now take a look to this battle for third between Devin Buccino and Isaiah Gill. Looks like Buccino is extending that gap. Isaiah Gill, though, drives it in hard in turns 1 and 2. Able to reel him back in a little bit. But once again, Buccino able to extend the gap. Right now, field pretty spread out. Cameron Austin has a 1 second lead right now over second place Will Witt. Right now, I think Cameron Austin, he's so far he's done a good job saving those tires, which is definitely key here at New Hampshire. Hopefully Cameron Austin can keep up the pace, and hopefully he will be in the lead by the time we come to green flag pit stops. Right now, we take a look at who is the biggest mover of the race, and right now that accolade belongs to Michael White. White is up to that 12th place spot now. He has just passed Logan Hagerman, and White, he started in the 20th place spot, two spots actually away from last, and he has quickly been able to work his way up to the field, has made some smart moves, has kept it clean, except for we do see his rear end has kind of caved in a little bit. Doesn't seem to be affecting him aerodynamically. Normally that happens when the nose is a bit bent up. But we'll see if Michael White can continue to keep this pace up, and if he can, he should be in the top 10 in no time. There is a 3-second gap between 11th Joe Wright and 12th Michael White, so we'll see if White can reel in that gap, close that gap. We now look to our battle for the 9th place spot between Brian Nudie and Todd Mays. As I look at it, though, looks like Nudie was able to extend the gap, but Todd Mays coming back on the bottom. Let's see what Mays tries to do here. Keep in mind, this is a playoff driver and a non-playoff driver battling with each other. Admin said before tonight's event, oh no, Brian Nudie into the outside wall, so that's going to allow Todd Mays to get under him. See Joe Wright there as well. Joe Wright is going to follow behind Todd Mays as both of them go under Nudie. That is the mistake that you're looking for when you're sitting behind someone. And there we go. We see Todd Mays, Joe Wright, all are both able to get by Brian Nudie. We actually have a battle for the lead beginning to brew. Will Witt has caught Cameron Austin for that first place spot. Will looking low under that 77 machine. And we see Witt with the nose as we head into turns 3 and 4. And he is able to get clear. Will Witt to the... Oh, no. We see Cameron Austin fighting back on that outside. Austin making that outside work. When you're running on that outside, sometimes you're going to be able to hang on pretty long just because when you're running up there, you're able to... You don't have to slow down as much when you're running that high side just because it's the longer way around the track. So Austin was able to hang on, but there we see Will Witt. He has gotten clear now. And we are now 27 laps through this thing. Here's a current look at your top 5. We see Will Witt is in first. Cameron Austin is in second, but actually it's looking like Devin Buccino is going to pass him. So now Cameron Austin is in third. Isaiah Gill is in fourth. And then rounding out your top 5 right now, it is Cody Moore. So Buccino able to get by Cameron Austin for that second place spot. He's now starting to run away from that 77. We will look now to this battle for the fourth place spot between Isaiah Gill and Cody Moore. We see Cody getting a good run here in 1 and 2, getting right up to the rear quarter panel of that 2 machine. But once again, it's looking like Isaiah Gill is going to extend that gap. Cody Moore gets another good run on entry of turn 3. So it's looking like Cody has good entry speed but doesn't have quite enough exit speed to get him by Isaiah Gill. There we see he's trying to take another shot down low as we head into turns 1 and 2. And he is able to get there, and he is able to drive by, and he is clear. Cody Moore to the 4th place spot now. So now it's Isaiah Gill's turn to try to make a pass. He is sticking right behind Cody Moore, not letting him get away. And there we go. We see Cody Moore starting to extend that gap. So now it looks like Will Witt, he is sitting with a comfortable lead of 4/10, but that's not a lot of room for mistakes. So Will Witt is really going to need to hit those marks and keep it nice and smooth because one little slip up could cost him the lead. We see now Michael White has been able to get to 11th, got another spot as he continues to drive his way up through the field. Our biggest tough break, though, probably is Nick Mather. As Mather, he got into an incident, just got loose off of turn number 2, and he spun all the way down to the bottom of the track, hit the inside safer barrier, and now he's just trying to work up his way back up to the field and get all that time that he lost. He is actually reeling in 20th place Eddie Moore, so I think he's caught the tail end of the field. Hopefully Mather can work his way back up. Do have a battle for 10th between Michael White and Joe Wright. White taking a look down low under that 82 machine. White to around the rear quarter panel, now to the door. And he has the nose as we head onto the backstretch. Joe getting a little bit loose. He is able to save it, though. It seems right now that everybody on the track is a little bit loose. And there we go. We see Michael White is able to get clear. But Joe Wright not letting him get away. Joe Wright is having a lot of pressure right now because he's not only trying to reel in Michael White, but he's also going to have to try to hold off Brian Nudie. We see Isaiah Gill has now caught Cameron Austin for that 4th place spot. Cody Moore, he was able to get to third. We see Gill trying to take it to the outside, maybe trying to use that to get by the 77. It is the longest way around the track, so you'll be able to be on the gas a little bit more. There we see Gill now taking it to the bottom, getting all the way down on the apron, and he is able to get clear Isaiah Gill now to that 4th place spot. We see, though, Cameron Austin fighting back on that outside. Austin still on the door of that 2 machine. They're back and forth, and then right behind them is Kyle Mays. Kyle Mays hoping that the 2 of them makes a mistake. And there we go. We see Gill able to get clear, and we are now side by side for 5th between Cameron Austin and Kyle Mays. And there we go. We see Mays is able to get clear. So now Kyle Mays starting to reel in Isaiah Gill for that 4th place spot. We'll see what Mays tries to do here. Right now, Mays he's not exactly faster than Gill. That last time by, he was about 600 slower. That much speed is not going to get him by that 2 car. See Mays getting all the way up to that back bumper of the 2 car. Mays just waiting for the 2 to make a mistake, or he's waiting for an opportunity to maybe lay him the bumper. Mays just looking to see where Isaiah is braking, where he's lifting, where he's getting back into the gas, trying to find any way possible to maneuver around that 2 car. See, Mick Olofsson on Facebook says, "Let's go, Will." Right now, Will Witt is your current leader. He's got a 1-second lead over 2nd place Devin Buchanel. Will, ever since taking the lead from Cameron Austin, has just ran away from the rest of the field. Definitely one of the fastest drivers on track. Right now, he is the fastest driver on track. Hopefully, Witt can keep up that. Actually, no, excuse me, I'm wrong. The fastest driver on track is actually Cody Moore, your 3rd place driver. But Will Witt, definitely one of the fastest drivers on track. He's hoping to keep up this momentum and stay in the lead for as long as he possibly can. Hopefully, he can be in the lead by the time we have green flag pit stops. Looks like Will Witt has caught the tail end of the field. He has now caught lap traffic. We'll see if lap traffic maybe will become a factor and if it'll pose an issue for that 35 machine. Hopefully not, but we've seen it happen before. Kyle May still trying to get by Isaiah Gill for that 4th place spot. We see Mays trying to take it to the high side. One thing that Mays might want to try to do is diamond in those corners so we can get a better run off and get under that 2. He's able to get a good run there, able to get right up to the back bumper, but can't quite go any further. And there is Mace taking it down low under Isaiah Gill. He has the nose as we come off of turn number 4. And there we go. Kyle Mays is clear, but we see Isaiah Gill fighting back on the bottom. Gill able to get to the door of that 55. They're side by side as we head into 1 and 2. We see Gill with the nose. Gill getting all the way down on that apron. We see Mays hanging on that outside. Neither driver giving one another an inch, but Kyle Mays is able to get back clear. But there it is, Isaiah Gill fighting back on the bottom. And he is able, there we go, officially Kyle Mays is able to get clear now. So Will Witt really having to deal with lap traffic right now. We'll see if lap traffic might pose a problem for Witt. Hopefully not, but lap traffic does slow you down a bit. So if Will Witt is having trouble maneuvering around the lap traffic and Devin Bucino does a good job making it by the lap traffic, we might see Bucino be able to catch Will Witt pretty quickly. We continue to watch Michael White's journey up to the field. He has now gotten to that 9th place spot. He has gained 11 spots now since the green flag dropped. Michael now trying to reel in Brian Merrell Jr. for that 8th place spot. 4 seconds separates the two. And we see a battle for second beginning to brew. Cody Moore, I think maybe lap traffic might have slowed Devin Bucino down and allowed Cody Moore to reel him in fast. Moore has the nose over Devin Bucino as we head into 1 and 2, and he is able to get clear now. Cody Moore to that 2nd place spot. But Devin Bucino staying right on the back bumper of Moore. We might see Bucino try to use a lap car as a pick to get by that 52 machine. Looks like something happened to Brian Nudie. Brian Nudie has fallen to that 15th place spot. Nudie starting that 5th place spot, and he was running the top 10 for a lot of tonight's event, but looks like something happened to Nudie. I am not... Let's see. I guess maybe Nudie has burnt off his tires. Yeah, that seems to be the case. He is 3 seconds off of his best lap time, so I think Nudie burned off the tires. That is definitely unfortunate for that 40 machine. Hopefully, though, he'll be back and better than ever when we come in for green flag pit stops and he gets those fresh tires. So right now, at least 1 second separates the top 7. Field very, very spread out right now, as I think a lot of drivers are currently in tire saving mode, trying to save as much tires they can and last as long as they can before these drivers have to come in for tires. I do think we should be getting around the time where we might see some of our drivers start to come in. I am not entirely sure what the pit window is for tires and fuel, but we shall see. I'd expect these drivers will probably be able to go to, I'd say, probably lap 60, lap 70 before they have to come in. And I was talking to some of the Intensity Racing Team people, and they said they were going to try to split the fuel/tire window in half. I don't know, those tires would probably be very, very worn by the time you get to that. We now have 100 laps to go here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Here's a look at your current top 5. We see Will Witt is your leader. Second place is Cody Moore. Third is Devin Bucino in that 68. And speaking of pit stops, looks like Cody Moore is coming into the pit. So Cody Moore going with the short pit strategy. Bobby Mays, Brian Nudie, Michael Lawrence coming in as well. And then we see Cameron Austin coming in, Daniel Michelle coming in. So a lot of drivers trying to short pit it. Question is, will it work out? Now I'm wondering, how long is Will Witt looking to stay out? There we go. We see Will Witt coming in this time by. So I'm wondering if the fact that he came in a lap later than Cody, will this give Cody the track position? We'll see. Kyle Mays also comes in. Isaiah Gill also comes in. Brian Merrell Jr. also comes in. Devin Buccino now is your leader. He continues to stay out. There's only 3 other drivers that need to come in. Devin Buccino, Dylan Redding, and Logan Hagerman. I think Buccino and Redding might be I think they might be working together on pit strategy. There we go. Devin Buccino now coming in. Dylan Redding is in as well. So that means that the last driver to come in is Logan Hagerman. And looks like actually Cody Moore was able to get by Devin Buccino. My question is, will Devin be able to come in and come out and keep that lead? He better hurry if he wants to keep it. No, it's very unlikely. Yep, Cody Moore, after green flag pit stops are said and done, is now to the lead. I knew that with Will coming in a lap later than Cody, it was going to give Cody the track position. Now, Will Witt he does have, however, fresher tires than Cody, so we'll see if that might be an advantage for that 35. But right now, Cody Moore, he has the track position. He is your leader. There we go. Last driver to come in, Logan Hagerman. He is now coming in. And this means, since Hagerman is the last driver to come in, he will have the freshest tires out of the entire field. We do have a battle for 4th beginning to brew between Kyle Mays and Isaiah Gill. And Gill is coming up on lap traffic. We might see if Mays tries to use Mather as a pick. Looks like he does not. So once again, field very, very spread out after green flag pit stops. Cody Moore in that first place spot. He has a 6/10 lead over second place Will Witt. Looks like Will Witt, he's running about 5/10 faster than Cody. We should see Witt reel Cody in pretty fast. Yeah, Witt about that time by is still about 1/10 faster than Cody Moore. He should continue to reel him in pretty quickly. So right now, Will Witt reeling in. Cody Moore very, very fast for that lead. We see Witt getting a big run on the front stretch, and as we head into 1 and 2, Witt reeling in. Cody Moore very, very fast. We see Brett Merrell is now into the pits. I believe he is the last driver that needs to make a pit stop. Brett Merrell, he got into the race late, so he is way off schedule compared to some of the other drivers. I believe these drivers, they will have to come in 2 more times from what it's looking like. Maybe 1 more time. We'll see. Will Witt having trouble reeling in Cody Moore for that first place spot. At first, it was looking like Will Witt was going to catch Cody Moore by now and get by him, but he's having trouble. We'll continue to watch this battle. One driver who benefited from these green flag pit stops is Brian Nudie, as he was able to get back up to 13th, where before Nudie, he was running like 16th or 17th. Nudie, with those fresh tires, finally back and better than ever. Hopefully Nudie can get his lap back. The first car down a lap is Dylan Redding, so if a caution comes out, Redding will get his lap back. So far this season in the SCSRA Xfinity Series, we have not had that many cautions. We've probably had like a combined total of 10 or 15, which is absolutely incredible. That just shows how skilled these drivers in the field are. And I think we may see another caution-free race here tonight at New Hampshire. Do want to take a look here at the point standings while we're under this little break in the action. So here we see right now Cody Moore is your leader in points, and this are 2 out of 6 chase races completed. And Cody, he is 20 points ahead of Brian Nudie. Third in the chase is Cameron Austin. Fourth is Colin Willems. Fifth is Logan Hagerman. Sixth is Isaiah Gill. Seventh is Devin Buccino. Eighth is Michael Provel. Ninth is Bobby Mays. Rounding out your top 10 is Kyle Mays. 11th is Dylan Redding. And 12th is Nick Mather. So right now, Cody Moore trying to stay ahead of Brian Nudie the best that he can. Brian Nudie, he needs to be 21 spots ahead of Cody Moore if he wants to take that chase lead. But Brian Nudie having a rough race tonight, so that's looking very, very unlikely. We continue to watch this battle for the first place spot between Cody Moore and Will Witt. Will Witt has been stuck trying to get by Cody Moore for quite some time now. I think Witt is trying to get by Cody Moore, but at the same time he's trying not to burn off those tires, which I definitely think is a good strategy. We see Witt getting a good run coming off of turn number 4, maybe trying to set up a pass for turns 1 and 2. We do see Cody Moore's coming up on lap traffic. We'll see if maybe Witt tries to use one of these lap cars as a pick. Oh, we see Moore getting loose off of turn number 2. This is just going to set up that pass once again for Will Witt. Looks like Witt loses some ground on Cody Moore. And Moore is starting to extend that gap once again over Will Witt. Has it to 5/10 now. I'm not sure what happened to Eddie Morris. Looks like he has manually disconnected. So has Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence. That is definitely unfortunate for both of them. I'm not sure what happened. I'll try to investigate. Yeah, I'm not sure. Looks like Brett Merrell has also, wow, 3 drivers in a row have manually disconnected. New Hampshire, a very, very tough track, and it's already getting rid of some drivers. At New Hampshire, you're really not only racing against yourself and you're racing against others, you're racing against the track as well, because that track, it'll absolutely destroy your tires. It'll slow you down. The track will do anything possible to try to lose you position. So these drivers really need to be careful, really need to save those tires, because New Hampshire will eat you up and spit you out. We only have 9 cars on the lead lap right now. Cody Moore, Will Witt, Devin Buccino, Isaiah Gill, Kyle Mays, Cameron Austin, Daniel Michelle, Brian Merrell Jr., and Michael White. Those are the drivers that are sitting on the lead lap right now. The rest of the drivers are hoping for a caution or hoping to maybe get some positions back during green flag pit stops. I do want to take this time to advertise our merchandise store, IntensityBroadcasting.com. If you're looking for any of our merch, that is the place to go. We have shirts, hats, mugs, mouse pads, stickers, posters, and so much more with our logo on it. We have some cool Intensity Broadcasting shirts. We have some of our league collections. If you're an SCSRA fan, which is the league we are broadcasting tonight, make sure to go pick up your own SCSRA shirt and an SCSRA sticker to put on your truck or your race car or your wall or anywhere you want to put it. We have released some new designs recently, so make sure to go check them out. And we are always releasing new items on IntensityBroadcasting.com, so make sure to check in regularly so you don't miss when we've added any new items. I know some of the shirts that we've added recently are absolutely awesome. Some of our most recent additions include the Intensity Racing tee, the PD Powered tee, the Pucker Moment t-shirt, the Kick the Tires and Light the Fires t-shirt, the Truck Cars t-shirt, and we've added 2 league-specific shirts. We have the Thunderstruck Racing shirt. That one looks awesome. And then we have the Extreme Forces Racing shirt as well. That one looks absolutely awesome as well. So go pick those up at IntensityBroadcasting.com. That is the one-stop shop for Intensity Broadcasting and the leagues that we broadcast merch. See, Chad King on Facebook says, Buccino's looking smooth. He is. Buccino in the top 3 right now, sitting in that 3rd place spot. 2 seconds do separate first and second, but we'll see if Buccino can reel in Will Witt for that 2nd place spot. So we are now at the halfway point, and you know that what that means. It is time to pump up the intensity. We are going to turn up the volume, and you'll get to see the sights and hear the sounds of the racetrack. Here we go. We are back live here. Hopefully you enjoyed us pumping up the intensity, but we are back here looking at the racing action. Cody Moore is still your leader, and Will Witt is still chasing him, trying to get to the lead. Will Witt, we see Eddie Morris on Facebook says, best broadcasters in the business. Thank you for the kind words, Eddie. What happened? I saw that you had manually disconnected. I know Eddie, he was racing in tonight's event, but he manually disconnected. See, Cameron Austin is reeling in Kyle Mays for that 5th place spot. And actually, Will Witt getting a good run on Cody on the backstretch. Here's a look at what it looks like from the cockpit cam of Will Witt. This is exactly what Witt is seeing on his screen right now. Will Witt has been stuck behind Cody Moore for, I'd say, 20, 25 laps now. Witt hoping to find any way possible to get by Cody Moore. He's just trying to set up the pass, looking to see where he's braking and where he's lifting, just maybe where he's getting back on the gas, trying to find any way to maneuver around the 52. Eddie Morris on Facebook says, went too hard on the right front. I got a meatball flag and was trying to get to lap 50, and it DQ'd me. Gosh. Sorry to hear that, Eddie. That's happened to me a couple times before where I've tried to make it as long as I possibly can when I've had a meatball flag and it just DQs me. And sometimes it just gives you a meatball flag when your car is fine, it's still driving fine. So, sorry to hear that, Eddie, but hey, there's always next week. See Cameron Austin trying to reel in Kyle Mays for that 5th place spot. Oh, we see Mays almost into the outside wall there. We see Austin looking low under that 55. Got to around the rear quarter panel. Will Witt still trying to make a pass on Cody Moore. We'll see if Witt tries to use one of these lap cars as a pick. We see Witt taking it to the high side above that 52. We see Cody is able to get back clear. Yeah, if you have a meatball flag and you don't serve it in a certain amount of time, I think it's like 5 laps or something, then yeah, iRacing will kick you out of the race. I had to learn that the hard way. We see Cameron Austin still trying to make a pass on Kyle Mays. One of the things that you're looking for when you're sitting behind someone here at New Hampshire is you're looking for them to make a mistake. And at New Hampshire so far, we've seen a lot of drivers make mistakes, whether it's getting loose or washing up and hitting the wall. The key is, the thing that I've seen most common, not the key, you don't want to do this, but I think the thing that's been the most common is getting loose off the corner. We've seen a ton of that here tonight. And there we see Austin able to get low under the 55. He has the nose as we come off of turn number 4, and he is able to get clear. Austin now to that 5th place spot. And we might be seeing some pit strategy come into play. Daniel Michel is coming in. Oh, no, he blew his motor. Never mind. I thought this was scheduled, but no, looks like this is an unscheduled pit stop. Daniel Michel has blown his motor somehow, some way. Uh-oh. Man, that is unfortunate. Looks like he had to use his fast repair. So far, still, our biggest mover of the race is Michael White, who is up to 8th place now. He's gained 12 spots since the green flag dropped. He started in 20th. And he has just made some smart moves, has been nice and smooth, hit his marks, and here he is up in 8th place now. He's trying to reel in Brian. Actually, no, he can't reel in Brian Merrell Jr. because Brian Merrell Jr. isn't down a lap, but Michael White is. Biggest tough break, though, is probably Eddie Morris, who has lost 10 spots since the green flag dropped, is mainly disconnected. Eddie, he started in that 12th place spot, and now he is sitting in last. He went too hard on the right front and got the meatball flag and was trying to get to lap 50, and it DQ'd him, so he didn't come in to serve the meatball, and iRacing ended up kicking him out. So that is unfortunate. We should be coming up on the pit window pretty soon, and this should be the last time that these drivers have to pit. Question is, how long is drivers like Moore and Witt staying or willing to stay out? Looks like both of them seem to be doing fine. The thing is, though, don't want to be too hard on those tires or else you might blow one. Sometimes you might think that your tires are fine and you're doing fine, but you might blow a tire, and that would definitely not be fun. See, it looks like Cameron Austin was able to get by Kyle Mason. Now he's taking a look down low under Isaac Gill for that 4th place spot. We see Austin to the rear quarter panel of that 2 machine. Trying to get a good run as we head into 1 and 2. Yes, he is there. We are side by side. Austin with the nose as we head off of turn number 2. They are still side by side here on the back stretch. Gill holding his own on the outside. He has the nose as we come into 3 and 4, but Austin coming back on the bottom, and he is able to get clear. Cameron Austin the 4th now. Isaac Gill has fallen to 5th. But Isaac Gill coming back on the bottom, gets all the way down on the apron, trying to come up and get to the 77. So we are only 4 laps away from the start of the fuel window. I know last time we saw Moore, he pitted 1 lap earlier than Will Witt, and that ended up getting Moore ahead of Witt. So Witt, I think the thing that he's going to try to do is try to pit a lap earlier than Moore. He's going to have to time it right. And I think actually Witt and Moore are on the same team. They're both with YXU Racing. So if Moore announces when he's going to pit, Witt should aim to try to go in a lap earlier than whatever that time may be. And when we hit lap 100, it will be 50 laps to go. Witt trying to get a good run on Cody Moore as we head into turns 1 and 2. Will Witt, he has been stuck behind Cody Moore for quite some time now, and it doesn't really look like Witt has any... It doesn't really seem like he wants to get by Cody Moore for that first place spot, so I think he's just going to stick behind Cody until the pit window opens, which should be right now. With 50 laps to go, the pit window will open, and so that raised the question, who will be the driver to make the first move to come into the pits? There we go. We see both Cody Moore and Will Witt, both of them making that hard left turn onto pit road. So they're going to have to duke it down on pit road. We might see some games here. Somebody might take more fuel than somebody might take 2 tires. Somebody might take 4 to try to get the head of the other. See Cameron Austin also coming in as well. We'll watch. And now this should give the lead to Devin Buccino in that 68 machine. The question is, how long is Buccino willing to stay out? He should be coming in this time by. No, Buccino continues to stay out. Will Witt is able to win the race off of pit road, and when Buccino comes in, Witt, this is technically the battle for the lead, although Buccino is your leader, he still has to come in. So, here we go. Witt, he wins the race off of pit road, so that means that when Buccino comes in, he will inherit the lead. See Brian Merrell Jr. coming in. And there we go. We see his Neon Racing teammate, Devin Buccino, comes in behind him. And looking very unlikely they'll be, there we go. So this should give the lead now. Yes, it will, to Will Witt. Will Witt is now back to the lead where he was before our first green flag pit stops. Cody Moore is now in second, 1 second behind Will. And he will have to deal with some lap traffic, so we might see more. And Isaiah Gill has just ran the fastest lap time of the race with a 31.01. Oh, looks like we see a car spinning, a car in the grass. That's Brian Nudie. Looks like he is able to save it, though. What a save for that 40 machine. See Isaiah Gill battling with Daniel Mitchell for that 5th place spot. We see Gill is able to get by him. There we go. We're side by side. And Kyle May is also able to get by Daniel Mitchell. So once again, the top 7 is all separated by 1 second. So we are coming in just a little bit to 40 laps to go. Let us know, who are you cheering for, or who is your pick to win? And I actually just realized something. One of our playoff drivers, Colin Willems, is not in the field tonight. So this should hurt him tremendously in the chase standings. And probably hurt his chances to win the championship. See, Mick Olofsson says, Will Witt very strong. Let's bring it home, Will. Will was able to get ahead of Cody Moore during green flag pit stops, and he right now has a 2-second lead over that 52. He's looking to bring it home, and this will be, I believe, Will's first win of the season if he does get the victory. If I'm not mistaken, I can check. Yeah, Witt has not gotten a win this season. So he is looking to try to get win number 1, and this won't mean too much for Will just because he is not in the chase, but hey, a win is a win. Uh-oh, looks like we see a car in the outside wall. That's Daniel Michel, and as Daniel Michel goes down a lap, there's only 6 cars on the lead lap. That is absolutely crazy, and so far tonight we have not had a single caution. Like I mentioned earlier, so far this season, we've probably had a combined 10 or 15 cautions, which is absolutely incredible. Maybe even less than that, and that just shows how skilled the drivers in the SCSRA Xfinity Series are. I mean, that's incredible. It also shows how all of these drivers have respect for each other. I mean, these drivers race with each other every single week. And so after you race with someone every single week, you kind of develop respect for everybody. While we're under this little break in the action, make sure to share the stream on whatever platform you are watching on, whether it be Twitch, YouTube, or Facebook, as it definitely helps us get exposed to more people. It helps the league out, it helps the drivers, it helps the sponsors. And it really just, it helps us out a ton. So make sure to share that stream on whatever platform you are watching on. I think for Twitch, it's actually you're hosting the stream. And then for YouTube and Facebook, you're sharing it. Yeah, Dean Qualley in the Facebook chat. He says, how's it going, Atlee? It's going pretty good up here in the booth, Dean. Thanks for tuning in. Right now, we're coming to 35 laps to go here at New Hampshire. And right now, Will Witt has a 1-second lead over second place Cody Moore. Ever since green flag pit stops, Will was able to get by Cody, and since then he's just been run away from the rest of the field. Eddie Moore says share, like, and follow for sure. That's right. Make sure to share, like, and follow to Intensity Broadcasting on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, as it will be greatly appreciated. We're trying to reach our goals of 2,500 followers on Facebook and 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. And there we go. We got all the Facebook chatters saying hi. Dean Qualley says hi. Eddie Morris. Eddie Morris says, what's up, broski? Mick Olofsson says, hey, Dean Qualley. Thanks, everybody who has tuned in to watch the broadcast so far. I know recently the racing on track it's been very, very clean. It's been very, very clean racing, and that just means that the field is going to be very, very spread out, and there hasn't really been a lot of battles on the track. So thank you for everybody who has sticked with us. I think the action will ramp up coming to 20 to 10 laps to go. Remember, tomorrow night we will be broadcasting the Thunderstruck Super Late Model Series. And that broadcast will be going live at 8:50. Don't want to miss it. It's action-packed super late model racing. And we have 2 races left for them in the season. We will be at Lanier tomorrow, and then the season finale is at North Wilkesboro, so you don't want to miss it. Make sure to turn on the notification bell so you get notified when we go live tomorrow with the Thunderstruck Super Late Model Series. We'll be broadcasting on all 3 platforms, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. And make sure to also go pick up the Thunderstruck Super Late Model Series merch on IntensityBroadcasting.com, as their Thunderstruck Series shirt is absolutely awesome. Make sure to go check it out, IntensityBroadcasting.com. We do see Cameron Austin reeling in Devin Buccino for that 3rd place spot. There we see Austin taking a look down low under Buccino as we head into turns 1 and 2. And he is able to... Oh, no, we see Buccino holding his own on the outside. There we go. He is able to get clear Cameron Austin to the 3rd place spot now. Austin was running in the lead for a little bit early on, but eventually we saw Will Witt was able to get by him. He's now back into the top 3 for the first time in quite some time. Good to see Cameron Austin back up here. Mick Olofsson says, gotta cheer on my boy Will Witt, LOL. Right now, Will Witt is sitting in that 1st place spot. Has a 1-second lead over teammate and 2nd place driver Cody Moore. We'll see if Will Witt can hang on to that lead for our final 29 laps. For those of you who are just tuning in, here's a look at our current top 5. Will Witt is in 1st. Cody Moore is sitting in 2nd. 3rd is Cameron Austin. 4th is Devin Buccino. And then rounding out your top 5 is Isaac Gill. Yes, Eddie, I have heard. Derek likes to remind me every single Extreme Forces race. But that does not seem to be stopping Cody from reeling in your 1st place driver, Will Witt. He has gotten the gap between him and Will to 7/10 now. Now 6/10. Let's see if Cody can close that gap. So far, our biggest move of the race is still Michael White, who is sitting in 8th. White started in 20th, but he just made some smart moves, has been smooth, hit his marks, and here he is up in the top 10 now. Hopefully he can hang on for the rest of the race and keep it in the top 10. Our biggest tough break, though, is definitely Brian Nudie, who is about to lose another lap Nudie currently in that 13th place spot. He's just not had anything on his side here tonight. I know I've seen him get loose a couple times, spin a couple times, hit the wall a couple times, get hit by another driver a couple times. It's just been a rough race for Brian Nudie. Hopefully he can hang on, though, and get a top 15. Yeah, that's right. Colin Willems ended up missing tonight's event, and Colin Willems is one of our chase drivers, so the fact that he missed an event will probably end his championship hopes. And we do see 5 chase drivers struggling, like Eddie mentioned on Facebook. He said 5 of the chase drivers are struggling, 1 didn't make it tonight. The 5, here's a look through the field at where all of our chase drivers are at. Will Witt, your leader, is actually not a chase driver, so we have to go all the way to second to our first chase driver. That is Cody Moore, who is actually your chase leader. Then it's Cameron Austin in third. Devin Buccino is in fourth. Isaiah Gill is in fifth. Kyle Mays is in sixth. Then we have to go to 10th, so that's where Bobby Mays is at. 11th is Dylan Redding. 13th is Brian Nudie. 14th is Nick Mather. And then 16th is Michael Proval. And our worst chase driver in the field tonight is Logan Hagerman in that submachine. Eddie Moore says he has a tongue twister for me. Will play spoiler for the chase drivers. Will play spoiler for the chase drivers. Yeah, that is true. If Will wins tonight, it'll definitely affect the chase drivers, just because Will Witt, he is not in the chase, but he is performing very well here tonight at New Hampshire. And this will also, if Will Witt wins tonight, not only will it spoil the chase drivers, but it'll also be Will Witt's first win of the season. Will Witt does not have a win this season. He's came close a couple of times, but never has gotten into victory lane. All of that could change here tonight if Cody Moore doesn't reel him in the next 19 laps. Eddie Moore says on Facebook, Will deserves one for sure. Great guy. He is a great guy. Every time I've talked to Will, he's always been so nice. And he's a good, clean driver on track. So I definitely think Will deserves one. Like I mentioned before, he's came close multiple times this season, but has never been able to break into victory lane. That could change, though, here tonight. Just got to hang on for 17 more laps this time by. We only have 5 cars on the lead lap now as Will Witt passes Kyle Mays. That's absolutely crazy. I don't know. That's wild. That just shows, how dominant our leaders have been tonight, mainly Will Witt and Cody Moore. And the fact that we've also been green flag all race long. We have not had a single caution all throughout tonight's race, which is crazy because we are running at New Hampshire, which a lot of times you do see at least a few cautions. But this just shows, you know, how good these SCSRA drivers are. And how, I mean, all these drivers, they have respect for each other. They don't want to wreck the person in front of them. Because, I mean, all these drivers, they race with each other every single week. So if you make someone mad, you're just going to have to deal with him the next week. So that's why it's always just good to just keep it clean and not make anybody mad, not start anything. And I think these SCSRA drivers are very, very good at that. You rarely see any fights between drivers. So right now, Cody Moore has the gap between him and Will Witt to 0.6 now. 13 laps for Moore to try to reel in Will Witt, and he also has to deal with lap traffic there. He's having to go by Dave Wright. And these drivers, that even though Cody Moore may want to try to reel in Will Witt, like, very, very quickly, he has to pace himself because you don't want to burn up the tires. Mick Olofsson says, great job on the broadcast. Intensity is the best in the business. Appreciate the kind words, Mick. Thanks for tuning in. This has been a fun race. There hasn't really been too many battles on track, but it's been a clean race. We've seen some pit strategy come into play. And we might have a shootout for the finish as Cody Moore, bit by bit, is starting to reel in Will Witt. Not an unintentionally rhymed. Kinda. Cody has the gap between him and Will Witt now to 0.4. I know, right now, with 10 laps to go, Will and Cody, they have got to be getting pretty tired as these drivers have been staring at a screen for 1 hour and 16 minutes, and that is the equivalent of 140 laps. They've been turning left for a long time. Their arms have got to be getting tired, and their eyes are probably getting very, very tired just from staring at the screen for so long. So they have to hang on now this time by. They have to hang on for 9 more laps. And we might see a good battle here at the end as Cody Moore, like I mentioned before, bit by bit, is reeling in Will Witt. We are now coming to 8 laps to go for Will Witt. Here's a look at the cockpit cam of Cody Moore. This is exactly what Cody is seeing on his screen right now, minus the ticker and the SCSRA logo, and Cody would have a mirror. But still, this is very, very similar to what Cody is seeing right now. And let's watch his line here. Let's watch a lap from Cody Moore's perspective. And, oh, we see getting a little bit side. Oh, he's reeling in. Will Witt fast. Reels him in very, very fast as we head into turns 1 and 2. Got a big run. We saw I got a little bit sideways there, but, I mean, that's fast. Here comes Cody Moore coming off of turn 4, trying to set up the pass for that lead. Cody right now is just watching to see where Will is braking, where he's lifting, where he's getting back into the gas, trying to find any sort of way to maneuver around that 35 machine. If Cody wins tonight's event, this will be his 6th win of the season, which will be the most out of any driver. Cody Moore has absolutely dominated this season, and if he doesn't win the championship, it's going to be very, very surprising. There we go. We see Cody Moore trying to take it to the low side below the 35 of Will Witt. Cody Moore getting right there to the back bumper of the 35 as we head off of turn number 4. And 4 laps to go now for Cody Moore to try, Will Witt to try to hang on to that lead, and 4 more laps for Cody Moore to try to make a pass. There we go. We see Cody trying to take it to the high side, gets a little bit loose off of turn number 2. I don't know. Is the high side maybe the way to go? It's the longer way around the track, which means you will be able to stay in the gas a little bit more. We'll see if maybe Cody Moore tries to take it to the high side. Haven't really seen too many drivers go up there. Who knows? Here we go on 3 and 4. We see Cody Moore getting a good run, trying to set up that pass on Will Witt. This time it'll be 2 laps to go. Can Will Witt hang on? We see Cody Moore trying to drive it in deep in 1 and 2, trying to get under that 35. I don't know if Cody Moore will be able to do it. Dayton Lease on YouTube says Will is doing a great job hitting his marks. He has. I mean, if you have somebody coming up on you, that's really all you can do is just be smooth and hit your marks. And, hey, that seems to be working for Will Witt. He's held off Cody Moore so far. Final lap. Can Will Witt get his first win of the season, or will Cody be able to catch him? Here he goes through 1 and 2. Will Witt has a 4/10 lead over Cody Moore. It's looking good. Will Witt can't slip up, though. Has to be mistake-free and hit his marks in 3 and 4. See, Dean Qualley says, go Will Witt. Coming off of turn number 4, Will has a 8/10 gap. He should get the victory, and yes, he does. Will Witt crosses the line in first, and he gets his first win of the season. What a win for Will Witt. I know we did have some Will Witt fans in the chat, so they are probably very, very excited right now. We see Mick Olofsson says, heck yeah, Will Witt. Dean Qualley says, heck yeah, Will, way to go. Dayton Lee says, congratulations, Will. Gosh. Witt Nation is on their feet right now. And there we go. We see Will Witt is burning it down here at New Hampshire. What a win for Will Witt. I know he is very, very happy about this victory. He definitely deserves it. Will Witt is definitely one of the nicest drivers off track. I mean, you can't help but not like him. And he's always a clean driver on track, and he definitely deserves this. I'm very, very happy for Will Witt. We see his teammate Brian Nudie going by to congratulate him. Devin Bucino going by to congratulate him. I'm sure if this was real life, we'd have all the pit crews standing on pit road, and Will Witt would just be driving down, high-fiving everybody like the 1998 Daytona 500. So it is now time for the driver interviews. We're going to be pulling your top 3 and hear what they have to say about tonight's event. So if we have any of our top 3 in the waiting room, make sure, or in the watching tonight, make sure to go into the waiting room. See, Devin Bucino says, Will's the man. Long time coming. It has been a long time coming. Will has had a couple second-place finishes, a couple third-place finishes, but hasn't broken in the victory lane. He's finally gotten one here tonight. We do have our top 2, Cody Moore, Will Witt in the waiting room. We are just waiting for Cameron Austin. There we go. We got Austin in the waiting room. Let's go ahead and pull him in. Cameron, this is Atlee in the Intensity Broadcasting booth. You have a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Awesome. Well, what a race for you tonight. I know you started on the pole here tonight. You had a great lap time, 30.84. Nobody could get anywhere near that. And you led the first portion of the race, but eventually Will was able to get by you. And after that, the floodgates kind of opened. You kept losing position after position. And after the first green flag pit stops, we didn't really say your name too much, but after the second green flag pit stops, you're able to work your way back up through the field. And eventually, and with 40 or 30 to go, you're able to get by Devin for that third place spot. You couldn't get up there to Will or Cody, but still end up getting the top 3 here tonight. What was your take on tonight's event?
Yeah, pretty excited to get third after the way it was going. This race did not turn out to be how I thought it was going to. I mean, the field was super spread out. I think they lapped all the way up to 6th, which, and especially going green the entire way was pretty surprising. But tire fall off was huge. Like, I figured the times would fall off, but the handling really went away. I had totally killed the right front the first stint, and so I just had to make sure that I didn't do that the last 2 stints, and ended up working out, being able to conserve tires for the end of the fuel run.
Now, we saw a lot of drivers getting loose, and it costed a few of the race. I mean, how do you handle the looseness here at New Hampshire?
Yeah, I think it was definitely loose on new tires. I think just maybe being cold or just how the setup was with them. But after about 10, 15 laps, I got super tight, and I just would continue to just kill the right front. So I think some other guys were probably just, trying to stay in the gas, trying to keep the car rotated, and that was probably burning off that rear tire for them. But yeah, for me, it was mostly just the right front.
Got you. Well, before we let you go, is there any sponsors or shout-outs?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my fiance for doing this, and supporting me doing this, and cooking me dinner and stuff. And thanks to you guys for broadcasting the race. Hope it was a good one.
Yep, it was definitely fun to watch all the racing action here at New Hampshire. And again, congratulations on the podium finish here tonight, Cameron. Have a great rest of your night.
Thanks, you too.
Yep, thank you. All right, let's now pull in your second place finisher, Cody Moore. Cody, this is Atlee in the Intensity Broadcasting booth. You have a copy?
Yes, buddy.
Awesome. Well, what a race for you. I know you started in that 6th place spot, and we really didn't say your name too much early on, but you kept working up to the field, getting position after position, and eventually right before our first green flag pit stops, you were able to get right behind Will, and we saw you ended up pitting 1 lap earlier than Will, and that ended up getting you out ahead of him. But then during the second green flag pit stops, both of y'all came in on the same lap, and Will was able to get out a little bit faster than you. And after that, Will, he hit his marks, and you tried a lot of different things, but you couldn't get by that 35, and you ended up finishing runner-up. I mean, what was your take on tonight's event?
It was a weird race, to be honest, coming in, I thought for sure I was going to be, lucky to be top 5. And at the beginning of the race, those guys took off, like you said, and I was, just thinking, okay, yeah, settle in here, 5th, 6th. That's about all we got. And as the runs went on, I just started catching guys, and I tracked Will down that first stint. I was able to take the lead, but that second stint, me and Will are good buddies, and he just followed me around that second stint. He could have taken off. And then on the last stint, he went, and I tried to save a little bit, but yeah, he just had me at the end there. And he had the advantage, too, of knowing I wasn't going to put the bumper to him. So it's kind of like Steven earlier when he at Richmond there.
Now, the key, we saw a lot of tire wear all throughout tonight. I mean, y'all, at the end of a run, y'all were probably a second off of your best lap time. What's the key to saving tires here?
I think it's just, taking your time. I was talking to Nudie and Gill during the race, and they just were plowing tight, just no turn in the center at all. And it seemed like I never had a problem with it. So I don't know if my brake bias being down to like 55 or 54 was doing it, but I just really never had a problem with turning the center. So I think that's the key to really save your tires is patient to the throttle.
Gotcha. Well, before we let you go, is there any sponsors or shout-outs?
Of course. First off, got to thank Grandma Hagerman. Second off, I want to thank my beautiful wife, Maggie, for allowing me to do this stuff. My kids, Grandpa Clark watching at home. Anyone else watching, my teammates at YXU Racing, please put an APB out for Colin Willems. We do not know where he is. Isaiah Gill, Brian Nudie, Will Witt for an amazing run tonight. That was a blast. And basically just all the talented people in this league. I kind of got lucky tonight. I know a lot of people had an off week, but yeah, I appreciate Brian Nudie for having the league, Stephen Black for the paints, and Michael Folk Designs for the paints. I'm sure I'm forgetting people. Listen to the Logan and Cody show. It's been coming out every week, and it's been a huge success. Atlee, you killed it as always. Take care, bud.
Yep, you too. Again, congratulations on the runner-up finish.
Thanks, bud.
Yep, no problem. All right, and now let's pull in your winner from Wisconsin, Dells, Wisconsin. Will Witt says Colin Willems is the best-looking driver in SCSRA. Let's pull in Will Witt. Will, this is Atlee in the broadcast booth. You have a copy?
Loud and clear.
Awesome. Well, there you go. Finally here in victory lane this season. I know you started in that 4th place spot, and you were running around the top 3 in the beginning, and eventually you were able to catch Cameron for that lead and be able to take the lead there in that first stint. But we saw Cody, he pitted a lap earlier than you, and that ended up getting him ahead of you. And during that second stint, you kind of just stuck behind Cody, hit your marks, didn't make any big moves, and both of y'all came in at the same time, and you were able to pit when both of y'all came, and you were able to get out ahead of him. And on that third stint, that last stint, you hit your marks, you were clean, and Cody just couldn't get up to you. So, I mean, what was your take on tonight's event?
Oh man, that's a long time coming for this one. I'm so excited for this. I got to thank everybody at YXU, Cody, Brian, especially Cody tonight. I think he had a shot at me on that last stint because, like you said, he was able to get me, but he just couldn't quite get close enough. But it was just him and I kind of cruising the whole race. We just figured out a line and just ran it. Get through lap traffic easy. I don't know, man. I'm at a loss for words tonight. I can't believe this.
Yeah, now this is your first win of the season, but is this your first win in SCSRA/iOS?
Yes, I have. This is my first official win in either the Cup, when we ran those, and now Xfinity. So the top series, I finally got one.
Really? Wow. Wow, that is awesome. I know it always feels good when you get the monkey off your back by getting that first win. So, I mean, with that first win, how does it feel?
Oh, it feels great. And I thought I maybe had a chance tonight because New Hampshire's got to be my favorite track on iRacing. I don't know what it is about this place, but I could run really well here. I thought maybe I figured top 5 tonight, but I didn't think I had it. And then once that first stint, I got around Cameron and kind of started taking off a little bit. And then they said, just ride with Cody. I knew I was faster than that second stint, but I just rode. So kind of there is when I started realizing, all right, I have a shot at this. And luckily, I was able to hold off Cody there for the win.
Do you know about how many starts you've had and like how many years you've been in this before you got your first win? Like how many starts?
I don't know off the top of my head. You'd have to go back to the original inception of the iOS Cup Series and go from there, however many seasons we've had, and how many races we've had then. So up until now.
Wow, that's incredible. Well, before we let you go, Will, is there any sponsors or shout-outs?
Oh, yeah, I got to first off thank my girlfriend for letting me do this stupid hobby every week. I got to thank, like I said, Cody at YXU, Brian, Isaiah, Nick was in there. Shout out to Mick at Falcon Graphics. I don't have a car he's got, but he's making me a couple for next season. So, and just everybody around the league, Brian for putting this on. Obviously, you up in the booth, you do a great job. I'm just stoked to be in this league, and a ton of friends I've made because of this. So this is awesome.
Awesome. Well, again, congratulations on the win here tonight, Will, and hopefully we'll see many more.
Yeah, let's hope. Thanks.
Yep, no problem. Well, that is going to do it for tonight's event. Hopefully you all enjoyed the racing action. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to Intensity Broadcasting on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, as it would be greatly appreciated. We are trying to reach our goals of 2,500 followers on Facebook and 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Make sure to also check us out on Twitter, Intensity Broad 1. We are always dropping polls and interacting with our viewers on there. It's a fun time on Twitter, so check us out. And also, make sure to visit our merchandise store, IntensityBroadcasting.com. We have shirts, hats, mugs, stickers, posters, mouse pads, and so much more. Make sure to go check it out and get yourself some merch. Again, IntensityBroadcasting.com. I'm Atlee Atman-Weishan on behalf of the entire Intensity Broadcasting team. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Over and out.